श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः ज्ञानकर्मसन्न्यासयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच इमं विवस्वते योगं प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम् विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्। एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप। स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः। भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्। अर्जुन उवाच अपरं भवतो जन्म परं जन्म विवस्वतः कथमेतद्विजानीयाम् त्वमादौ प्रोक्तवानिति। श्रीभगवानुवाच बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्थ परन्तप। अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया। यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्। परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि युगे युगे। जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवैयो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन। वीतरागभयक्रोधाः मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञानतपसा भूता मद्भावमागताः। ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम्। मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः काङ्क्षन्तः कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्त इह देवताः। क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा। चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्य कर्तारमव्ययम्। न मां कर्माणि लिम्पन्ति न मे कर्मफले स्पृहा इति मायोऽभिजानाति कर्मभिर्न स बध्यते। एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतं किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः। तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्। कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यम् बोद्धव्यम् च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम् गहना कर्मणो गतिः कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येद् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत् यस्य सर्वे समारम्भाः कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणम् तमाहुः पण्डितम् बुधाः त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गम् नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः निराशीर्यतचित्तात्मा त्यक्तसर्वपरिग्रहः शारीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम् यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टः द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः समसिद्धावसिद्धौ च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते गतसङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म समग्रं प्रविलीयते ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतम् ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम् ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना दैवमेवापरे यज्ञम् योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माज्ञावपरे यज्ञम् यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति श्रोत्रादीनीन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति शब्दादीन् विषयानन्ये इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुह्वति सर्वाणि इन्द्रियकर्माणि प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते द्रव्ययज्ञास्तपोयज्ञाः योगयज्ञास्तथा परे स्वाध्यायज्ञानयज्ञाश्च यतयः संशितव्रताः अपाने जुह्वति प्राणम् प्राणे पानं तथा परे प्राणापानगतिरुद्ध्वा प्राणायामपरायणाः अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजः यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम् नायं लोकोऽस्त्ययज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयाद्यज्ञाद् ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन प्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम् ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव वृजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि यथैधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निः भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशम् पवित्रमिह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति श्रद्धावान् लभते ज्ञानम् तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचिरेणाधिगच्छति अज्ञश्चाश्रद्दधानश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति नायं लोकोऽस्ति न परः न सुखं संशयात्मनः योगसन्न्यस्तकर्माणं ज्ञानसञ्छिन्न संशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय तस्मादज्ञानसम्भूतम् हृत्स्थं ज्ञानासिनात्मनः छित्त्वैनं संशयं योगम् आतिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ भारत ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे ज्ञानकर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
Nikaman, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। के श्रॉफ कॉलेज ऑफ आर्ट्स एंड कॉमर्स के सेंटर फॉर यूनिवर्सल ह्यूमन वैल्यूज की ओर से मैं डॉक्टर सोनिका गुप्ता श्रीमद् भगवद गीता के अध्याय 4 में आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ। हमारे गणमान्य अतिथि श्री उदय आचार्य जी हमारे समक्ष पधार चुके हैं। सर, आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है आज के कार्यक्रम में। आज के कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाने से पहले आई वुड लाइक टू टेक दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी टू इंट्रोड्यूस आवर रेस्पेक्टेड स्पीकर। Shri Uday Acharya ji is a student of Pujya Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji of Rishikesh. Sir has conducted many Vedanta courses consisting of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, and Parakaram Granths for over 35 years. He did his advanced full-time studies in Vedanta, Sanskrit, and Yoga for over 10 years with eminent masters Swami Dayanand ji, Swami Chinmayanand ji, and Swami Taranand Giri ji in traditional Gurukul style at Mumbai and Rishikesh. He is currently a teacher of Vedanta based in Navi Mumbai. As a director at Mindflex, he conducts various soft skill programs in stress management, emotional intelligence, communication skills, leadership, and team building for corporate and educational institutes. He has conducted trainings for SBI, LIC, Indian Oil Institute of CA, and many others. In the capacity of managing trustee, Vidya Varidhi Trust, Sir is involved in cultural, spiritual, educational, and counseling activities. Sir is an author of many ebooks on soft skills, meditation, and Indian culture. Also writes spiritual columns in Asian Age, DNA, and Chetna Online. Sir has also created a lot of e-content over YouTube on his channel. It is really difficult to describe Sir's life and work spanning over 35 years in a couple of minutes. And I do not want to keep you all waiting. As I like everyone, I too am eagerly awaiting to hear from Sir. So moving further, I now request our principal, Dr. Lily Bhushan, to offer virtual bouquet to an accomplished speaker.
Thank you very much.
So we are really honored to have you amongst us today. Thank you. So as have been over the earlier days, today's session shall be conducted in 2 parts with a 10 minutes break. The first half shall be devoted to Adhyay 4 of Bhagavad Gita, and the second half shall focus on our theme, Challenging the Challenges, followed by Q&A. I now request our esteemed speaker to please enlighten us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sonika. That was a short and sweet introduction. I'm grateful to Shroff College and all the organizers for inviting me. As a student of Vedanta for the last 50 years, I started learning Gita right from my Bal Vihar days. And I got some prizes also for chanting, especially chapter 3 and chapter 12, chapter 15. So it is nice to come back to college and share whatever I've learned over the past 40 years or more. Yeah. Can we have the PowerPoint?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Screen visible?
Yes, yes, I can see it. I hope everyone can. The theme of the program is Challenging the Challenges. Basically, it is upgrading yourself to meet the challenge. I have an exercise in my workshops in which I ask people, so who is the tallest person in the class? And the tallest person stands up. In fact, they all look each other to compare who is tallest, and they push the tall person right in front. And then I ask, who is the shortest person? The shortest person comes forward, and I ask the shorter person, so please tell me how you can cut short the tallest person without making him bend, without cutting off his head, without touching him. So the solution almost immediately, all of them came and said, so the short person should stand on a chair. And it was embarrassing, but they made the shortest person stand on the chair until the person stood taller than the tallest person. So this is what we talk about, is upgrading yourself. When you upgrade yourself, the obstacles become smaller. And Einstein once said, is it okay if I speak in English? I'll break into Hindi now and then.
Sir, if Hindi will be better, sir, if it is comfortable, sir, you, sir. If it is comfortable with you, आप हिंदी में समझा सकेंगे, sir? तो
yeah, wherever possible, I'll talk in
yes,
Hindi.
sir. Whatever is comfortable for you.
अच्छा, आइंस्टीन एक बड़े साइंटिस्ट थे, तो उनका कहना था कि आपको जो लेवल में प्रॉब्लम है, तो उसी लेवल में आप रहेंगे तो आप प्रॉब्लम का हल नहीं निकाल सकते हैं। आपको प्रॉब्लम के ऊंचा ऊपर उठना चाहिए, ताकि प्रॉब्लम छोटा होगा और आप बड़े होंगे। Okay, no problem can be solved from the perspective where you are within the problem. You have to come out of the problem, you have to go above. अच्छा, इसको कहते हैं challenge the challenge, and the Bhagavad Gita is exactly the right medium तो आपका लाइफ का चैलेंज को आप चैलेंज करो। मैं छोटा था तभी आई हैड अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग कोटेशन, never trouble until trouble troubles you. Okay, never trouble until trouble troubles you. And once the trouble starts troubling you, then trouble to such an extent that the trouble runs away. Okay, जो आपको तकलीफ दे रहे हैं या जो तकलीफ आपके लाइफ में आ रहा है उसको तकलीफ देना, आप तकलीफ नहीं लेना, आप तकलीफ देना। Okay, so trouble it until it goes away. इसका अर्थ नहीं क्या आप सब लोगों को दुश्मनी मोल ले। Okay, and the best way to challenge an enemy is to make him a friend. तो आप उसको अपनाएंगे तो definitely that is much better than trying to fight a useless war. So a war only does not bring peace, it only leaves you with a sense of uneasy peace. Let us go into the Bhagavad Gita. We'll go to the second slide. Yeah. Bhagavad Gita starts with Arjuna's problem, which is a universal problem. Okay, Arjuna found that he cannot handle his own relations. Unka mrityu he could not accept. And he had the guilt, how can I kill my own people? So, हम कभी भी conflict में आते हैं and then we require someone to guide us out of that conflict. So, Bhagavad Gita is an answer to that conflict. आप मन को हल्का करना, मन में जो दुविधा है उसको sort out करना, उसको अलग अलग points अलग अलग करना. Don't mix up things so that you get carried away, you get confused. So जो है, so deal with each small issue separately and then put it all together. Right? So Bhagavad Gita में the fourth chapter, it starts with imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam. भगवान कहते हैं मैं इस विद्या को, so विवस्वान इस सूर्य भगवान, सो विवस्वान को पहला ये विद्या अनुदान किया और विवस्वान ने मनु को, और मनु से इक्ष्वाकु तक आ गए. विवस्वान वाज अ राजा आल्सो एंड ये राजाओं का परंपरा में ये विद्या आया था पहले, और वहां से ब्राह्मणों को ये विद्या आ गया. एंड इसका परंपरा चलते रहा फ्रॉम टीचर टू स्टूडेंट. एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम इमम राजर्षयो विदुः. ये राजा थे और ऋषि भी थे. एंड अनफॉर्चुनेटली ओवर टाइम, सो जैसा काल का मतलब है परिणाम. ओके, जैसा काल का परिणाम होते गया तो इस विद्या बैक स्टेज हो गया और लोगों का काम क्रोध वो बढ़ गया. आजकल का युग को कलियुग कहते हैं. सो कलियुग में सो ऑलमोस्ट दिस नॉलेज इज लॉस्ट. और लॉस्ट का मतलब नहीं कि इट इज मिसिंग. इट इज नॉट मिसिंग, बट पीपल ओवरलुक इट, पीपल डोंट केयर फॉर इट. इसीलिए गिने चुने लोगों के साथ ही ये विद्या है. और श्री कृष्ण कहते हैं उसी विद्या जो नष्ट हो गया उसको मैं पुनः दोहराता हूँ. ओके, सएवायम मया तेद्य योग प्रोक्त पुरातन. जो पुरातन योग है, पुरातन मीन्स पुराण है, पुराना है, लेकिन पुरा अपि नवः. जो पुराना है फिर भी उसका शक्ति कम नहीं हुआ है. इट इज लाइक गोल्ड, ओल्ड इज गोल्ड, राइट. सो दिस इज टाइमलेस. एंड आजकल का रीति है नया नया चीज को इन्वेंट करना या प्रोपाउंड करना. एंड जैसा जैसा नया नया चीज आता है पुराना चीज को आउटडेट कर लेता है. Okay, so this is the trend, ever changing. We are always looking for new. So, but sometimes the new is not as good as the old, because old has antique value. जो antique value है, so sometimes it is much more precious than what is new. So this is Bhagavad Gita. It is old is gold. And Shri Krishna कहते हैं, I am giving this to you because I care for you. भक्तोसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यम एतद् उत्तमम. ये तो रहस्यमय है क्योंकि सब लोगों के साथ नहीं है. And even if it is available, people do not know the value of it. So भगवत गीता का वैल्यू होता है जब आप गुरु के पास जाते हैं और उनसे उसका फुल इम्पैक्ट जान लेते हैं, उसका फुल you can say power, you can experience it when you sit down in front of a guru, ask a lot of questions. Pariprashnena sevaya. So ये अभी आने वाला है आगे. We'll go to the next slide. परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. ये धर्म का चक्र जो होता है, so that is all the time again काल के प्रमाण चेंज होता है. So we have these 4 yugas, सत्य युग, त्रेता युग, द्वापर युग और कलि युग. So सत्य युग में धर्म was standing on 4 legs. And if you compare dharma to a cow, the cow with 4 legs, so that was Satya Yuga. So dharma was stable. And in Treta Yuga, the cow had 3 legs. So it was still able to balance itself. In Dwapar Yuga, the cow had only 2 legs. And in Kali Yuga, the cow has got only 1 leg. So this is the change in terms of time. Dharma का ग्लानि होते जाता है, लेकिन जब भी धर्म का ग्लानि होता है, जब भी धर्म का कमी महसूस होता है, तब तब ईश्वर अपना हेवनली वर्ल्ड को छोड़कर इस मृत्यु लोक में आकर सुधर्म का रक्षण करते हैं. दिस इज आवर ट्रेडिशन. दिस इज कॉल्ड अवतारवाद. Okay, in अवतारवाद the Lord himself comes down like any human being, and he participates in human activity. At the same time, he is not touched by that, because the Lord says, मैं तो खुद कुछ भी नहीं करता हूँ, ये मेरा माया है, ये मेरा शक्ति है जिससे पूरा सृष्टि चलता है. Okay, so मैं मेरा माया को अपना के मैं अपने आप को पैदा करता हूँ अवतार के रूप में. So I come down as Lord Krishna to protect the good and destroy the evil. So here is where Bhagavad Gita says, if you want to rise above the challenge, recognize that I am always behind everything in creation. Even if I am not seen, धर्म का ग्लानि होता है, but don't give up hope. Have that faith, have that trust that somewhere the cycle will complete. When the cycle completes, again dharma comes back to its prominent position. Some of you had asked me, not asked me actually, but had indicated that you'd like to know more about our culture and to know more about our traditions. So a little bit of, you can say, presentation about the cycles of creation. We have a number of cycles of creation. Creation is not a one-time creation. It is continuous. And every creation was preceded by a previous one. So हर क्रिएशन में सृष्टि स्थिति लय होता है, एंड जब लय होता है द क्रिएशन इज नॉट डिस्ट्रॉयड, इट गोज इनटू अ हाइबरनेशन. सो क्रिएशन हाइबरनेशन माने वो दिखता नहीं है लेकिन दिखता नहीं. ओके, इट इज लाइक व्हेन यू वॉक इनटू अ रूम, आपको लाइट रोशनी है और सब चीजें दिखता है, सडनली द रोशनी चले जाता है एंड एवरीथिंग डिसअपियर्स। ये डिसअपियरेंस का मतलब क्या, चीजें गई नहीं है, वही का वही है लेकिन दिखता नहीं। सो इसी तरह हमारा सृष्टि भी है, क्रिएशन इज बॉर्न, इट इज सस्टेन्ड एंड इट डिसअपियर्स। सो पहला it before birth it was present avyaktam, avyaktam means adrishyam, अभी जो है सो ये दिखता है, therefore we think this is reality। जो पहला था वो नहीं था, so that absence is reality, from absence presence, from presence this creation will disappear, so creation will disappear, so it will be destroyed। so Krishna कहता है neither is there a creation nor there is a destruction, there is only a change of form। नाम रूप बदलते रहता है, जो है वैसा ही होता है। and this नाम रूप जो change होता है, so that is my maya, so it is my maya through which everything appears and disappears, and in and through all that I am the reality। so ऐसा सोचना नहीं the creation has disappeared, it has dissolved into me and I manifest the creation। this cycle of creation, we talk about Chatur Yuga। Chatur Yuga, you have Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga। Okay, so Satya Yuga, I said 4 legs, 3 legs is Treta, 2 legs is Dwapar, and Kali Yuga is 1 leg। Okay, so each Yuga is said to be 432,000 years। so Kali Yuga is 432,000 years, multiplied by 2 is Dwapar Yuga, multiplied by 3 is Treta Yuga, and multiplied by 4 is Satya Yuga। Okay, and together it is called as the Chatur Yuga। Chatur Yuga means the 4 yugs together, so that is 432,000 into 10। Okay, this is 1 daytime of Brahmaji। so Brahmaji as a creator, so Brahmaji is said to be the first born, he is said to be the first jiva born from Ishwar। so Ishwar se Brahmaji is born, and Brahmaji has a lifespan of 100 years। so for Brahmaji 1 day time is 432,000 into 10 human years, and after the day is over there is a night time, again 432,000 human years। so this is 1 day and 1 night। Okay, so like that Brahmaji has a lifespan of 100 years। after that Brahmaji gets moksha, and he is replaced by another jiva, so who becomes Brahmaji। and it is said आपको भी ब्रह्माजी के स्थान मिल सकता है अगर आप कर्म और उपासना करो। आप जितना अच्छा कर्म और जितना अच्छा उपासना करते हैं उसका फल स्वरूप आपको देवलोक प्राप्ति होता है, ब्रह्मलोक प्राप्ति होता है, और if it is total dhyan and if it is total bhakti, so you can also gain the status of Brahmaji। so this is a little bit of our history and culture। we will go ahead with the next slide। okay. The next slide, Krishna ji says janma karma cha me divyam yo evam yo veti tatvatah। जो हमारा जन्म और कर्म को जानते हैं, ईश्वर कहते हैं, श्री कृष्ण कहते हैं हमारा जन्म उत्तम जन्म है, and as an avatar I am not born because of my karma, I am born because of my ichha। okay, Krishna ka janm, so it is not because of papa punya of his past life। Ishvara is not dependent on his karmas, Ishvara is born out of his ichha। so janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah, जो मेरा जन्म और मेरा कर्म मेरा कर्म है परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम। इसके अलावा कृष्ण जी आगे बताएंगे, जो जो कर्म मैं करता हूँ उसका कर्ता मैं नहीं हूँ, मैं तो अकर्ता हूँ। I am the one who is free from all karma. I am not attached to karma. I am not dependent on karma. I am not born because of karma. I am the Lord of karma. As a Lord of karma, it is my Maya through which I do karma, and Maya is a part of me. At the same time, I am independent of Maya. So, as the one independent of Maya, I am a karta. So, मैं करता हूँ from one standpoint, मैं अकर्ता हूँ from a higher standpoint. अर्जुना, आपको higher standpoint अपनाना पड़ेगा if you want to free yourself from this human suffering which is dependent on karma. Okay, आप जो जो कर्म करते हैं उसका फल आपको भोगना पड़ता है. And as long as you are in the lower standpoint in which you see yourself and in which you see Ishvara as a karta, you are dependent on karma. Once you understand Ishvara who is beyond karma, you will be free. So this is called mukti. So your tyaktva deham punarjanma na eti. आप शरीर को त्याग करेंगे तो आपको फिर से पुनर्जन्म नहीं होगा. You will not be under the cycle of karma. You will have risen beyond the cycle. If you know Ishvara as free from karma, you also recognize that Ishvara हमारे अंदर है, हमारे से अलग नहीं है. Therefore, I am also free from karma. Having known this, you become free from the cycle of birth and death. After death, you do not come back again into this human life. The next slide is about Karma Yoga. Let us talk a little bit of Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. Okay, Sankhya Yoga is, Krishna says, there is no death in reality, there is only an appearance of death. Okay, Sankhya Yoga is knowledge, the true knowledge of yourself. The true knowledge of yourself is that Ishvara is free from karma, you are free from karma, and between that Ishvara and you, the Jiva. So the difference is only superficial. In reality, there is no difference whatsoever. Krishna says, आपका और मेरा इतना ही फर्क है, आप आपके जन्म, पहले के जन्म को आप जानते नहीं, मैं मेरा पहले जन्म को जानता हूँ. You also have many lifetimes, I also have many lifetimes. The only difference is you are conditioned by ignorance, therefore you do not know your previous lifetimes, Arjuna. मैं मेरे पहले का जितना भी जन्म है मैं सब जानता हूँ. Therefore, if you realize that you are not a mortal, आप जन्म मरण के slave नहीं है, you are not dependent on birth and death, you are independent of birth and death. If you recognize that आपको मृत्यु नहीं है, if you have no real death, there is no real fear. So Arjuna, get out of this fear and do your duty. Your duty as a Kshatriya is to fight for the right cause. So do that. If you die, you will go to heaven because you're doing the right thing. If you live, you will enjoy this kingdom. Okay, there is no real death. And as far as his body is concerned, it is a body that dies. It is not you that die. So it is like changing your clothes. When you change your clothes, you change your body and you assume a new form. Therefore, do not worry that I am committing a sin. You will not be committing a sin provided you understand that you are beyond karma, you are beyond sin. When we come to Karma Yoga, okay, Karma Yoga is आप हमेशा ईश्वर का ध्यान करो। वीतराग भय क्रोधाः मन्मया माम उपाश्रिताः। सो राग भय क्रोध को छोड़ दो, मेरे में आपका मन को डुबाओ। माम उपाश्रिता, मेरे आधार से जियो। एंड मैं आपका दुख को कम करता हूँ और आपको ज्ञान का दान करता हूँ। गुरुमुखे न आपको ज्ञान का दान करता हूँ। ज्ञान तपसा पूताः, ज्ञान से आप पवित्र हो जाएंगे और मेरा स्वरूप को अपनाएंगे। मेरा स्वरूप है बियॉन्ड बर्थ एंड डेथ। माय स्वरूप इज फ्री फ्रॉम कर्म, फ्री फ्रॉम जन्म, फ्री फ्रॉम दुख। मेरा स्वरूप आपको आप पाना चाहते हैं तो आपको मेरा सही रूप पहचानना पड़ेगा और उसके लिए आपका मन को तैयार करना पड़ेगा। सो मन को तैयार करना एक साधन है। तो ये साधन को हम कर्मयोग कहते हैं। ओके, कर्मयोग क्या है? इसमें जो जो कर्म आप करते हैं, आप ये समझना दैट ईश्वरेण नियुक्तो हम, ईश्वर ने मुझे जन्म दिया है, ईश्वर ने मुझे कुछ कर्म का अधिकार दिया है और ईश्वर ने मुझे सही स्थान में रखा है जहां मैं अपना कर्म फ्रीली कर सकूं। ओके, माय कर्म दैट आई डू, मुझे शक्ति दिया है कर्म का और मुझे शरीर दिया है कर्म करने के लिए, मुझे बुद्धि दिया है। सो क्या सही है क्या गलत है वो समझने के लिए, ये सब ईश्वर का वरदान है। और इसको कहते हैं हम गिफ्ट। ओके, बर्थडे को आप जाते हैं, किसी के बर्थडे को आप गिफ्ट लेके जाते हैं और कभी कभी आपको रिटर्न गिफ्ट भी मिलता है। ओके, ये बच्चों का खेल होता है, गिफ्ट देना और गिफ्ट लेना। सो दिस बॉडी इज अ गिफ्ट फ्रॉम ईश्वर, this capacity to do karma is a gift from Ishwar, and this mind which is capable of thinking what is right and wrong, that is also a gift from Ishwar. तो ये गिफ्ट को हमें सही प्रकार से उपयोग करना चाहिए। So we cannot misuse this gift. So using this gift in the right way is called dharma. So जब मैं धर्म का परिपालन करता हूँ, जब मैं मेरा सभी कार्य को सही प्रकार से करता हूँ, so this becomes a return gift to the Lord. भगवान आपने मुझे गिफ्ट दिया है, वो गिफ्ट का सही प्रकार से उपयोग करना, ये हमारा रिटर्न गिफ्ट है। इसको कहते हैं हम ईश्वर आराधन। ओके, ईश्वर अर्पण। हम जो जो कर्म करते हैं वो ईश्वर के धर्म के साथ साथ चलना, वो हमारा अर्पण है। आपने जो कहे हैं, आपके शब्द के और या आपके इच्छा के अनुसार चलना, ये मेरा रिटर्न गिफ्ट है, इसको ईश्वर अर्पण करते हैं। और दूसरा चीज है, जो जो फल मिलता है, जो जो फल मिलता है वो ये आपका अनुदान है, आपका प्रसाद है। मैं कर्म करता हूं, मुझे फल मिलता है। ओके, यहाँ ईश्वर कहाँ से आता है? मेरा कर्म है, मेरा फल है, मैंने कष्ट उठाया, मैंने कमाया। ईश्वर कहाँ आता है? ईश्वर आता है in terms of the laws of karma. Ishvara is a lawgiver. Ishvara is also the laws of karma. Therefore, जब जब फल आता है, so it comes through the laws of karma, and the laws of karma are one with Ishwar. So, if the karma is the fal comes because of the laws, it comes from Ishvara, it becomes something that I accept gratefully. ओके, ये तो ईश्वर का अनुदान है, उनका फल है। Therefore, accept it as prasad. So this is called prasada buddhi. एक है कर्मयोग का पहला भाग, ईश्वर अर्पण भाव। दूसरा पार्ट है, दूसरा भाग है प्रसाद बुद्धि. जब I accept my role and do my duties, and when I do the right thing, I live by dharma, I am accepting Ishvara's presence in my life. And when the result comes, sometimes it is good result, sometimes it's a bad result. There is no good result, bad result. Everything is karma phal. If everything is karma phal and it all comes from Ishvara, I am ready to accept gratefully. Success, I accept gratefully. Failure, I accept gracefully. इसको कहते हैं sportsmanship spirit. When you get success, you accept it gratefully and thank everybody who contributed to your success. ईश्वर को हम धन्यवाद देते हैं. Thank you God for this success. जब failure आता है, I don't blame myself. I take it gracefully. क्यों? In life, failures will happen. In life, दुख तो आता है, and failures can happen. So there is no guarantee in life that you'll always get success. Understand, if every time you got success, that means you are more than God. Correct? You can't be more than God. You are always a person with limited resources, limited knowledge. Therefore, कल क्या होगा आपको पता नहीं. You put your best leg forward and trust that Ishwar will guide you in the right way. Okay, Ishwara will give you the right results. So is there any guarantee? No guarantee. But still you trust. Why? Most of the time, जब आप सही काम सही ढंग से सही काल के लिए आप करेंगे तो आपको सही फल तो मिल ही जाएगा. ये कृष्णा का assurance है. Whenever you do the right thing at the right time in the right way, आपको right result जरूर मिलेगा. Okay, this is what Krishna says. This is the law. This is the law of karma. At the same time, there are many factors which affect the result. Therefore, in any result, there are three factors: prayatna, kala, daiva. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, prayatna, kala, daiva. We'll take it a little bit later. So, ईश्वर कहते हैं ये यथा माम प्रपद्यन्ते. You invoke Ishvara for results. You do your karma and invoke Ishvara, and the results come from the Lord. But Krishna says, मुझे अलग अलग लोग अलग अलग तरीके से आराधन करते हैं. So in whatever form you worship the Lord, we have different forms of Ishvara. We have Ishvara as Vishnu, as Shiva, and if you are from a different religion, you worship Ishvara as Allah or Jesus. So in whichever form you worship, so definitely the Lord will bless you in that form. And also we have Devatas. So who are Devatas? Devatas are, you can say, a manifestation of Ishvara. Ishvara to sarvavyapi hai. Ishvara is, you can say, the not different from creation. Ishvara is sarvam. Ishvara is everything. He is not different from creation. Creation does not come from nothing. Please understand. Creation does not come from nothing. It comes from somewhere. If it comes from somewhere, there should be a material. Without the material, you cannot have a creation. So, where is that material? If that material is outside of God, then God becomes limited. Material udhar hai, God idhar hai. Okay? The Shastra says the material and the maker are one and the same. The material and the maker are one and the same. Therefore, the creation comes out of Ishvara. So, Ishvara himself is a material. Ishvara himself is a creator. Therefore, where is God? If you ask any Indian, okay, any layman, even an auto rickshaw driver or a person who is selling vada pav, okay, You ask him, where is Ishvara? That person will look at you as though you are crazy. So क्यों पूछ रहे हैं, where is Ishvara? So Ishvara ऊपर है. That fellow will say, sir, आप मजाक करते हैं, आप बताओ ईश्वर कहाँ नहीं है. Where Ishvara is not. Even a layman on the street, a rickshaw puller or a rickshaw driver, so he knows this much, that Ishwar is everywhere. वो हमारे अंदर है, हमारे बाहर है. Therefore Ishvara is Sarvam. If Ishvara is Sarvam, you can connect to Ishvara through any form. That is why we say Matra Devo Bhava, Mata Ishwar hai, Pitra Devo Bhava, Pita Ishwar hai, Guru Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava. जो हमारे घर में आते हैं, सो गेस्ट लोग, वो भी हम ईश्वर के समान मानते हैं. हमारे पशु पक्षी को भी हम मानते हैं as holy. There is nothing secular, everything is sacred. In fact, money is Lakshmi, knowledge is Saraswati, a book is Saraswati, money, a currency note, हम पाँव के नीचे नहीं रखते हैं. क्यों? ये तो लक्ष्मी है. Right? So even when we enter into the house, the house also is a temple. Therefore, in the corner of the house, we keep the Lord there, because the house is a temple. This world is a temple. And when you walk, your feet is stepping on the ground. So the ground is Bhumi Devi. So that Bhumi Devi ko hum क्षमा मांगते हैं. Please forgive me, because मैं आपके ऊपर पैर रख रहा हूँ. Okay, so that means the Bhumi is sacred, the world is sacred, Ishvara is everything. Now, if I want to contact Ishvara, any form is good enough for me to worship. So these are called Devatas. So there is a Devata for fire, there is a Devata for water, there is a Devata for Prithvi. So all these different Devatas are nothing but one Ishvara manifest in many forms. So you worship any form, you worship any Devata, all the worship comes to me alone. It is I, through that Devata, I am blessing you. Right? So ye yatha mam prapadyante tan tataiva bhajamyaham. So हर लोग जो ईश्वर को मानते हैं या ईश्वर को नहीं मानते हैं, वो सब कोशिश करते हैं अपने आप को fulfill करने के लिए, right? And that fulfillment, every type of fulfillment is non-different from me. I am the result, I am the action, I am the actor also. Everything is a play of my Maya. Okay, we go to the next slide. जब जब आप कर्म करते हैं, so there is two types of karma. One is religious karma, one is non-religious karma. Okay, whether religious or non-religious. So when you have that shraddha, that जो कर्म मैं करता हूँ वो तो ईश्वर अर्पण से करता हूँ, and जो result आता है वो तो ईश्वर का प्रसाद है. So when you have that attitude, you find that you are motivated to action. Okay, and Krishna says, कांक्षन्त कर्मणाम सिद्धिम यजन्ते इह देवताः. लोग अलग अलग देवता को आराधना करते हैं, क्योंकि उस देवता उनको फल जल्दी देता है. So like if you want a particular विद्या, आपको विद्या प्राप्त करना, आप विद्या प्राप्त करना चाहते हैं तो आप सरस्वती को आराधना करते हैं. आपको पैसा चाहिए तो आप लक्ष्मी का आराधना करते हैं. इस तरह से अलग अलग रिजल्ट के लिए अलग अलग देवता को आप इन्वोक करते हैं. तो कृष्ण कहते हैं क्षिप्रम ही मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर भवति. तो आप सही प्रकार से ईश्वर का आराधना करेंगे तो आपको सिद्धि जरूर मिलेगा, और जल्दी मिल जाता है. सिद्धि तो मिल जाता है आप, if you do the right thing at the right time in the right way. Okay. And is there any guarantee that you will get Siddhi? Krishna says there is no guarantee because there are different factors involved in the result. One is your own effort. आप सही चीज, right thing you do in the right way for the right reasons. आपका प्रयत्न पूरा है, पूरा प्रयत्न है, आप दिल से काम करते हैं, उसको कहते हैं प्रयत्न. दूसरा है काल. Kali, you have to wait, you have to have patience. Things do not come overnight. Therefore, have the trust that I have done the right thing, I will get the right result. And तीसरा factor है दैवम. Daivam means the unknown. The unknown, what you talk about is luck. जब you are lucky, you find आपको result एकदम जल्दी मिल जाता है. So sometimes without effort you get the result if you are lucky. And sometimes if you are not lucky, you find आपका जितना प्रयत्न किया है वो सब पानी में जाता है because you are not lucky. Okay, this luck and no luck is what we talk about is adrishtam. Adrishtam means इसका ये हमें दिखाई नहीं देता है लेकिन वो है. And this adrishtam is nothing but कर्म फल. हमारा पहले जन्म का जो कर्म किया है उसका फल को हम लक इस तरह से कहते हैं. कृष्ण इसे दैवम कहते हैं. दैवम इज सो ईश्वर इच्छा. कभी कभी ईश्वर इच्छा है मेरा कर्म को सही फल मिले, और कभी कभी ईश्वर का इच्छा है मेरा कर्म करते भी मुझे फल नहीं मिलता है. ये तो ईश्वर इच्छा है. ईश्वर इच्छा इज कॉल्ड दैवम. And Daivam is nothing but my previous karma ka phal. Okay, so we have in this life we have free will and we have destiny. The difference between free will and destiny is only this much. Free will is the action that you do now. Destiny is a result of the action from your past. You have many janmas. This is what Krishna says. In many janmas, you have done a lot of karma. So, उस कर्म का फल जो आता है उसे destiny हम कहते हैं. और इस जन्म का जो हम कर्म करते हैं उसे पुरुषार्थ कहते हैं. So, between purushartha and prarabdha. Prarabdha is your destiny. Purushartha is your self-effort. So it depends which is stronger. And your prarabdha is not seen. उसको अदृश्य कहते हैं, उसे दैवम कहते हैं. Therefore, learn to accept your result. Even if you get success because of your purushartha, that is, you are grateful. And if you fail in your effort, understand that there is some sort of daivam playing, which is going against me. Therefore, instead of complaining about the result, learn to accept that result as prasad. Somebody said, a result of karma, if you get success, that is prasad. Okay, ये तो ईश्वर का अनुदान है. When you get dukkham, it is mahaprasad. Mahaprasad is basically, it is testing me, it is challenging me. Dukkha will challenge me. Sukha will encourage me. So instead of thinking of this as good and bad, there is no good result, there is no bad result. There is only an encouraging result and a challenging result. So learn to accept dukkha as a challenge. When you have that sense, don't blame somebody for your dukkha. Accept that dukkha as a result of your own past karma. You take a responsibility for your result. When you take a responsibility for your result, you are motivated to do better. And also, you do not suffer stress. So this is the secret of getting beyond stress. Do not stress yourself for the fear of results. Learn to trust the law. The law comes from the Lord, and the Lord will not cheat me. Whatever effort I do will not go waste, right? So this is the secret of karma. Keep doing your karma, do the right thing at the right time. In the long run, you will get results. In the short run, you may not see the result. The result is there, it is never lost. Okay, so trust Daivam. So Daivam is my past karma. So whatever karma that I have done, either I am paid for it or I have to pay for it. Okay. A small example is एक आदमी था, वो दूसरा आदमी से झगड़ा मोल लिया और उसे चाकू से मारा. Okay. Now this man is wounded and he is taken to hospital. और हॉस्पिटल में सर्जन बोलता है immediate surgery is required and सर्जन भी चाकू निकालता है for surgery. Okay. जिसने मारा उसने भी चाकू यूज किया और जो डॉक्टर है उसने भी चाकू को उसका उपयोग किया. ओके. तो पहले आदमी को उसको जवाब देना पड़ता है जेल में जाके. ओके. he has to pay for his sin, whereas the doctor, so he is paid for his effort. दोनों भी चाकू यूज किए थे, लेकिन पहले वाले का मोटिव था इसको जान से मारना, दूसरा का मोटिव था इसको जान बचाना. तो मोटिव is important. So if you have the right motivation, if you live by dharma, if you do not hurt others, if you do the right thing, you will get the right result. Okay. इसका faith, have this faith, the Lord will never betray you. But in the short run, you may not get the desired result. So learn to accept difficulties, learn to accept sorrow as a challenge. Do not give up because of the challenge, rise above the challenge. And when sukha comes, when desired result comes, learn to accept it as grace. So be thankful, be grateful. Krishna talks about, I am the creator of everything and I create the Chaturvarnya. Chaturvarnya is a four divisions of society. There are scientists and engineers who live by the head. Okay, these are called knowledge workers. So knowledge workers are called as Brahmanas, and the people who live by the sword, so they are the protectors. They are the protectors of dharma. So they have to stand up and fight. So they are the Kshatriyas. So they live by their arms. Okay. And there is a third category who are called Vaishyas. So who take care of the needs of society by providing resources. So the Vaishya is a person who provides resources. He is represented by the stomach. The stomach feeds the whole body. Similarly, the Vaishyas are the one who provide the food and other things, provisions for society. And the fourth category is the Shudras. The Shudras are said to be the manual workers. So the manual workers, so without them, society cannot run. They are service providers. The Shudras are service providers. The Vaishyas are, they provide resources. And the Kshatriyas, they provide security. And the Brahmanas, they provide wisdom. So you require wisdom for the society. You require security for society. You require provisions for society. You also require services in society. So in short, this is called Chaturvarna, the four categories of people. It is wrongly translated as caste. This is not the caste system. This is society which is diverse. So in a diverse society, everybody cannot do the same job. Each person is allotted a different kind of job. So you have Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So this is a Chaturvarna. Krishna says, I have created the Chaturvarna. And when Ishvara says, I have created Chaturvarna, it is not only in India, but all over the world. Okay. So whether it is in America or it's in Russia, it does not matter whether it's in China or whether it's in Antarctica. These four type of people, these four categories of people are there: knowledge workers and the protectors, there is the providers, and there is the people who provide service. So these are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam. The Lord says, I have created all this. Guna karma vibhagashaha. So according to their nature, everybody has a different kind of nature. So we categorize people who are more intellectual as Brahmanas. Okay. Tasya kartaram api mam vidhi. I created the Chaturvarna. Know me to be the creator of all this. And vidhi akartaram avyayam. Krishna says, I am akarta. I am the karta, I am the akarta. Right? I am the creator, I am also the non-creator. Because this is my reality. I do not do anything. It is through my Maya I accomplish everything. As such, I am free from all action. Therefore, I am beyond the limitation of creation. I am beyond the limitation of karma. I am not bound by karma. I am free from karma. So know me to be akarta. And again, Krishna, as earlier said, whoever knows me in my real nature, that person also becomes free from karma. So if you understand, Ishvara is free from karma, and through this knowledge, you recognize Ishvara is present in me, through me, as me. Ishvara is in me, he is through me, and there is as me. So if this understanding of Ishvara is there, Ishvara is present in me. Therefore, if Ishvara is akarta, my real nature also is freedom from karma. So this is called Sankhya Yoga. If you understand this truth of yourself, you will not be bound by karma. Somebody has just sent me a note saying that in time this Chaturvarna became degenerated. Okay, maybe that is true. Chaturvarna has become degenerated. In Mahabharata times itself, that was Dwapara Yuga, there was some sort of degeneration. In the earlier times in Satya Yuga, so there was no high and low. Everybody contributed. This was called a yajna. In a yajna, everybody contributes. Everybody has got a role. Okay, and yes, over time it has got lost. Krishna himself says this knowledge has got lost in time, and now I am reviving it. When I revive it, you revive what is best in the tradition, and you let go what is degenerated in that system. So in any revival, you have to remove the degenerate part, even in your body. So when you have an operation, what is not working, you have to either operate it, or you have to replace it, or you have to give medicine to revive it, right? So Chaturvarna, in today's society, it is more abused. It is more in the degenerate way. We have to revive the spirit. The spirit is more important than the letter. And the guna karma. So karma is what you do. Guna is what you are capable of. So what you are capable of and what you do. So according to that, you are categorized. If you are capable of working with your head, you are a Brahmana. If you are capable of providing security, you are a Kshatriya. If you are capable of providing resources, you are a Vaishya. And if you are capable of providing service, you are a Shudra by Guna. But in society, we have the tradition is that the son takes on the profession of the father. So in that sense, so sometimes you may follow your father's profession, but your heart may not be in it. Okay. So this is where Krishna says, even though you do not like your profession, learn to accept it as a challenge. Whatever profession you are in, whatever that you are involved in, learn to accept yourself. When you accept yourself, you can accept your roles. When you don't accept yourself, then you say, I don't like this, I don't like that. When you learn to accept yourself, you find likes and dislikes you can handle. This is the greatest threat in our present day society. We go by what we like and we avoid what we dislike. In the process, we become selfish and we break the pattern of society. Society is everybody contributes to the common pool and everybody shares from the common pool. That spirit can work only when there is diversity and each person is assigned a role. If you can accept that role with your heart, you will do a good job. So that is, really speaking, the Brahmana attitude. The Brahmana attitude is whatever karma that you do it with your whole heart. Okay. The Kshatriya attitude is what will I get from this? The Vaishya attitude is how can I make a profit from this? And the Shudra attitude is will I be able to survive doing this? The Shudra attitude is survival. The Vaishya attitude is profit. The Kshatriya attitude is will I get name and fame? And the Brahmana attitude is I do it as a process of bettering myself. Whatever I do it to better myself. If you have that attitude, any system is good enough. Whether you have a Western system in which you go by your capability and your qualifications. So each person, the American dream, whatever you want, you can achieve, provided you are motivated enough. The Russian system is a communist system in which you do your work, do not go beyond that, just do what you're expected to do. And in our Indian system, we think of it as duties. Whatever duties are there, we take it as a worship. So duty is worship. If you have that attitude, you're a Brahmana. If you have a lot of complaints, then you are not comfortable with what you are. That means you are not a Brahmana. A Brahmana is a person by guna. We talk about guna and karma. Okay. Guna karma vibhagashaha. This guna and karma. These are the four varnas. By guna, you may be a Brahmana. By karma, you may not be a Brahmana. It does not matter. Whatever karma that you do, if you do it sincerely, you are a Brahmana by guna. If the best of karmas, so somebody else's karma you want to do, you are not happy with your karma, you want to do something else. And that something else may be the best of karmas. But if you don't do it with the whole heart, you find that it becomes a Shudra karma. So guna and karma are involved in this Chatur Varna. Okay, there is a division in society. We all contribute. Think of your duties as a contribution. It's a contribution to society. So don't think about it as a prestige. Think of it as a contribution. We are all performing a yajna. Each of us have our own capacities. We contribute our karma into the common pool and we take the results as prasada. So this becomes a yajna. In yajna, everybody contributes and everybody gets a share. When you have that system, I'm not doing it for my sake, I'm doing it for the common good. With that attitude, you become a Brahmana. Okay? Without that attitude, you are doing it for name and fame, you become a Kshatriya. If you are doing it for profit, you become a Vaishya. And if you do it because I have I have to provide service, so then you are a Shudra. Okay, so this is the 4 types of the 4 types of karma. Okay.
Yes. So
I'm just looking where we are.
should we
This
take
division of labor is basically our own contribution to society. So when you work in terms of contribution, there is no less and there is no more. Everybody is equal in terms of contribution. So a Brahmana contributes with this knowledge. A Kshatriya contributes with his efforts. A Vaishya contributes by his providing service, and a Shudra contributes in terms of miscellaneous services. So all this are basically a yajna. This all a yajna in which everybody is doing different ways of contribution, right? Yeah. Now we see this for every activity, there is a certain attitude. When you take the attitude of I am providing service, okay, you are a Vaishya. When you have that attitude that I am a guiding society, you are a Brahmana. When you have the attitude that I am protecting society, you are a Kshatriya. And when you have the attitude, I am providing service to society, you are a Shudra. So there is Chaturvarnya, the 4 divisions of society. These 4 divisions of society are basically 4 attitudes. When you function, no matter what karma that you're doing, whatever karma, whether you're working in office or you're working in the field, whatever karmas that you're doing, it's the attitude which makes you a wise person. And the wise person is called a Brahmana. A person who is looking for name and fame, he becomes a Kshatriya. A person who is looking for profit, he is a Vaishya. And a person who is looking for a livelihood, he is a Shudra. So if you're looking for a livelihood and for you just pet ke vaste kaam karna hai, you're a Shudra by attitude. Okay. And if you are looking for profit, you are a Vaishya by attitude. If you are looking for name and fame, you are a Kshatriya by attitude. And if you are looking for self-improvement, you are a Brahmana by attitude. So it does not matter what karma that you are doing. There's a Brahmana karma, which is providing spiritual service to society. There is a Kshatriya karma, providing protection and security for society and administration. So that becomes a Kshatriya karma. There is a business class which provides provisions, which provides the necessities for society. So that becomes the Vaishya. And you have the Shudra who provides physical service. So all this are basically Chatur Varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So there is a karma and there is a guna. So whatever karma that you do, that does not matter provided you have the right attitude. The right attitude, if you have, you are a Brahmana. Okay, if you have a profit attitude, you are a Vaishya. And if you have a service attitude, you are a Brahmana. If you have, you are a Shudra. And if you have an attitude of I want to protect society. So then you are a Kshatriya. Does not matter what karma that you do. The karma and guna, these are called as the four classes, wrongly translated as four castes. So there is no four caste, there are four attitudes and four lifestyles. So all these lifestyles are basically based on contribution. If your attitude is I am contributing to society, you are a Brahmana. If your attitude is I am guiding society, you are a Brahmana. If you are protecting society, you are a Kshatriya. Okay, if your attitude is that. If your attitude is I am providing service for society, so you are a Vaishya or Shudra. And the activity that you do may be classified into four activities, but the attitude with which you do it makes you a wise person. A Brahmana is said to be a wise person who accepts his karma as a self growth. Whatever karma that you do, if you're doing it with an attitude that may I become better and better in this activity. So through this activity, I learn a lot and I provide service. So that becomes a Brahmana attitude. A Kshatriya attitude is through this actions, I will protect the society and I will get name and fame. So that is a Kshatriya attitude. When you have the attitude, I am providing service to society, I am providing for society, you have the Vaishya attitude. And when you say, I am doing this for my belly, you have the Shudra attitude. So this diversity is basically part of creation. So whatever you are doing, you can do it with the right attitude or a Shudra attitude. The right attitude is, I am doing it for my self-growth. I am doing it for betterment of myself and society. That's a Brahmana attitude. Kshatriya attitude is, I am protecting the society and I am getting name and fame. The Vaishya attitude is, I am providing service for society and I am partaking of the profit. So profit becomes a motivation. The Shudra attitude is, I have to survive, therefore I am providing service. Okay, so survival becomes a Shudra attitude. Profit becomes the Vaishya attitude. Name and fame becomes the Kshatriya attitude. And wisdom and self-growth becomes a Brahmana attitude. So all these attitudes are basically helping you to make society function as a whole. You require all these four classes of society. So here diversity is what is there. Everybody is different. Everybody can provide a different service. And all activity is basically providing service. So this becomes a yajna. A yajna is in which all of you are contributing to a common pool and you are sharing from the common pool. You are contributing to society and you are partaking of the benefits. So this becomes a Vedic society. And this becomes like a yajna. You are contributing to society and you are taking the benefit of society. Okay, in a yajna, you are offering your karma and you are accepting the results. Yeah.
Sir, with your kind permission, can we take a 10 minutes break now?
We'll take a break.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah, sir, thank you so much for such a knowledgeable and insightful session. Now we'll take a 10 minutes break and we'll be back after 10 minutes. Okay, thank you, sir.
we request the participants to post their questions in the chat box. The chat box is open. Kindly post the same to the host for question answer session.
Welcome back, all of you. We shall now begin with the second session. So, sir, over to you.
We will start with the second session. By the time Uday sir joins,
Yeah.
I request the participants to kindly post the questions which they have in the chat pod. And very soon we will be providing all the clips to you as the IT team is rendering the entire video. And once it is rendered, because one video is of 1.5 GB, so it does require rendering process. And after that, we will be posting the same on the YouTube channel. Each and every participants will get the link for the same. Sir, over to you.
Yeah. Can we go through the PPT from where we left? Yeah.
So, do you want me to change the slide, or is it fine, sir?
Okay, this is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Varna Ashrama is basically a necessary aspect of society where everybody contributes. So ours is a society of contribution, whereas the Western civilization is basically a culture of conquest. So everybody has, they demand their rights, and in the process, so there's a lot of conflict between my right and your right. In our Indian system, we have a division of labor, and we say this is my duty, this is your duty. So when I do my duty, I am contributing to society, and in turn, the society helps me with my rights. So when everybody contributes with their duties, so everybody's rights are met. But for that, there has to be a common attitude. That common attitude is called karma yoga. When everybody has a right attitude, I am contributing to society. Brahmana attitude is, I don't have to worry about the results. As long as I keep contributing, society will compensate me in terms of results. So no matter what karma I do it as a contribution to the common pool. And in turn, society takes care of my needs. So this is called a yajna. Okay. So this Chatur Varna becomes some sort of a yajna in which we are all traveling in the same boat, and each person is assigned different duties. The problem was, as somebody said, over the course of time, the concept of duties have changed. It has turned into rights. So rights become more important than duty. When rights become more important than duty, there is a fight. When you are focusing on your duties, you find there is harmony. So this is called division of labor. So this division of labor was present in our ancient culture, in which contribution was more important than what you are receiving. So as long as you keep doing the right thing in the right way, Krishna assures you will get the right result. So don't worry about your rights. So focus on your duties. This is also in, I think, one of the earlier chapters, I think third chapter. Karmani eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu. Don't worry about the results. Focus on your karma. The result is assured if you do the right thing at the right time in the right way. You will get the right result. Therefore, learn to find your role in society. Each of us has been given a role, and many of our roles are based on our guna and karma. Basically, our guna, our nature. Our nature is such that we can contribute best in a particular way. So if you are a Brahmana by guna, so you'll be excellent in the Brahmana karma. If you are a Kshatriya by guna, you'll be good as a Kshatriya. Okay, that is a division of Varnashrama. It does not matter what you do, provided you have the right attitude. With the right attitude, you become a Brahmana. With the wrong attitude, you become a Shudra. A Shudra is only worried about what I will get. A Brahmana is interested in how I can better improve the society. And a Kshatriya is interested in how I can keep the society going. So that is my contribution. A Vaishya says, how can I provide for society? That is my contribution. So when you think in terms of contribution, you are a Brahmana by guna. If you think of profit, you're a Vaishya by guna. If you think of name and fame, you're a Kshatriya by guna. And if you think of what will I get, okay, you are a Shudra by guna. So it does not matter what type of karma that you do. How you do it is more important than what you do. So everybody has to contribute in one way or another. And the problem is sometimes you may be a Brahmana by guna, but you may not be a Brahmana by karma. Krishna says it does not matter. No matter what karma is given to you, if you can do it in the right attitude, in the right way, you will be blessed. And if you do it for self-improvement, you are a Brahmana. If you do it for name and fame, you are a Kshatriya. If you do it for profit, you are a Vaishya. And if you do it just to fill your belly, then you are a Shudra. So there's a Brahmana karma and a Brahmana guna. Brahmana guna is self-improvement. Okay. Kshatriya guna is name and fame. Vaishya guna is profit and Shudra guna is survival. Whatever karma that you do, it does not matter if you have the right attitude. So you may be a Shudra by karma, but you can be a Brahmana by guna. Therefore, you will be honored by society. Even though you are a Shudra by karma, what you do does not matter if you do it with the right attitude. This is called dignity of labor. So that was inbuilt in Varnashrama Dharma. We do not have much time for that. We go to the next slide. Krishna says, I do a lot of activity, but I'm untouched by activity because I am beyond. Okay. I act as a part of a yajna. A yajna is a place of activity in which everybody contributes their own might. So if you contribute with your wisdom, you are performing a yajna. If you contribute with your service, you are performing a yajna. If you're contributing in terms of commerce, you're performing a yajna. And if you're contributing in terms of learning, you're performing a yajna. Whatever activity that you do, you can perform it as a yajna, you will become a Brahmana by guna. Okay. If you are doing it for self-improvement, you are a Brahmana. If you are doing it for name and fame, you are a Kshatriya by guna. If you are doing it for profit, you are a Vaishya. And if you are doing it just to fill your belly, you are a Shudra. So there are some Brahmanas by guna who may be doing a Shudra karma. Does not matter. Doing this karma, I am offering my service to the Lord. So it may be a small karma, it does not matter. But when I do it with the right attitude, I'm a Brahmana by guna. Okay, so this guna karma vibhagashaha. The karma may be ordinary, but my attitude makes it extraordinary. So that becomes a Brahmana or Kshatriya. The Kshatriya says, I provide service to society. So there is a dignity of labor. Brahmana says, I educate society. I am the spiritual mentor of society. So that becomes a Brahmana by guna. So it does not matter what you do. It is more important how you do it. Right? Having talked about this, Krishna says, whatever karma that you do, learn to do it as a yajna. In the yajna, I am contributing to society. I am contributing to the pool. And my likes and dislikes, each person has got a certain preference of activity, preference of enjoying, preference of working. So my preferences are important, but doing the right thing and staying on the right track is more important. Right? So Chatur Varna says, whatever karma that you do, so sometimes you don't have choice of karma. You are especially in the earlier society, you're doing karma based on the profession of your parents. The parents' profession became your profession. So at that time, there was lesser choice than today. Today, you have more choice. Okay. But no matter what your choice, so you cannot get everything that you want. So somewhere you have to learn to accept what you cannot change. You have to learn to accept, and what you have to change, you have to learn to take charge. So when you accept what you cannot change, and when you take charge of what you can change, you are proactive. That proactive attitude is a kshatriya. You are a kshatriya when you learn to rise up to the challenge. You are a brahmana when you use your activity to become wiser, to learn something more. When you have a learning attitude, your profession becomes a place for learning. No matter whether you're providing service, or you're in business, or you are in administration, or you are in teaching. It does not matter what profession, but in every profession, I am learning something more. That is a Brahmana attitude. When I am doing it for name and fame, that is a Kshatriya attitude. I may be a Shudra by karma, but I may be a Brahmana by guna. Okay, when I say this service that I'm providing, it is a learning experience from me. And by contributing, I am helping in society. I'm also becoming a better person because I have a pure heart. With a pure heart, I am serving society. So you become a Brahmana by guna. Okay, so this is the Chaturvarnyam. I go to the next slide. So you find that Krishna says, I do a lot of activity. I run the whole society. Everything runs at my command. I do everything not by personally, you can say, I have no motive. I have no motive for doing any action. At the same time, I do all activity as part of a yajna. A yajna is a ritual. A yajna is a ritual in which people are allotted certain activity and everybody contributes. So the Lord says the activities that I do of creating the universe, sustaining the universe, and resolving the universe. So that is my activity. I am not touched by that activity. I do that activity as part of a yajna. And the same way, anybody who does activity in that with that attitude, so that attitude becomes worship. This is where we say your the action that you're doing, that becomes a worship of the Lord. The Lord says, I do not act, it is my Maya which acts. It is my Shakti which acts. So I am just the one who blesses my Shakti. So through my Shakti, I do a lot of actions. At the same time, I am beyond that activity. I am untouched. Right? So anybody who knows Ishvara, namam karmani limpanti, namek karma phale spraha. Iti mam yobijanati karmabir nasa badyate. The one who knows that I am beyond karma, I am beyond activity, at the same time, I am present in activity. Activity happens as my Shakti, and I am independent of that Shakti. I am free from activity. Therefore, the results of activity do not really touch me. Even though I am the recipient of the results, but in reality, I am free from all activity. This is my nature. Namam karmani limpanti, name karma phale spraha. I do not have desire for any activity, nor am I hurt by any activity. In fact, I'm untouched by all activity. This is what Lord Krishna says. I do activity as part of a yajna. So this is the yajna of creation and resolution. The same way, all human beings, they're also participating in this yajna. Everybody is contributing and everybody is partaking of the result. So all of society is performing a yajna in which everybody has got certain role. So performing your role in the best way becomes your puja, and accepting the results of your activity becomes prasada. Think of this, all activity is in terms of contribution and enjoying the results. You contribute your service and you enjoy the result, that is the outcome. Okay, everybody contributes, everybody accepts the result. So this becomes a yajna. A yajna is a ritual. In olden times, we had the fire ritual. In this fire ritual, you offer your oblations unto the devatas. So there is an Agni Devata who is supposed to carry all your contributions, whatever you offer, into the fire. So he takes it to the devatas, or he takes it to the Ishvara, and the Ishvara blesses you with the prasada. Okay, so the fire is a medium through which you exchange your activity for results. You contribute your activity and the result is given to you. All this is in a form of a yajna. In yajna, you pray to the Lord through the fire, and the Lord gives you the result. Okay? Even though the Lord is someone who manages all activity, he is the agent of all action. He says, I am free from all action. Understand that you also, in the same way, are not touched by action. Action is just part of the role that you're playing. Remember, the role is not you. You are independent of the role. You have a role of a teacher or as a businessman, but you are not a businessman. You are playing the role of a businessman. You are playing the role of a teacher. So nothing really touches you. You are beyond action. You are beyond result. Action and result are part of the role, and you are the one who survives the role. As such, you are free from the limitations of the role. You may be a Brahmana. At the same time, you're not limited to that role. You are much more. You are the Lord of creation. Okay, this is what Krishna wants to imply, that even though you have a role of a human being, as a human being, you are contributing and you are enjoying the results. But beyond that, understand that you are independent of your action. You are not your action. Your actions are not you. You are independent of actions. In fact, you are untouched by action. The Lord talks about himself that I do everything, at the same time I do not do. It is my Maya that does everything. The same way, look at your role and your reality. Your role is that you are an actor, you are doing action, and you are dependent on the results. Behind that role, you are the one who is free from that action. You're also free from that result. So you're not bound by action. You are actually free from action. But understand, you have a role which involves action. So in the role, please perform your action. In the role, learn to work for results, the right results. Work in the right way, in the right spirit, and you will get the results. There is no guarantee of results, but yes, if you keep on doing the right thing, in time, you will get the right results. As far as the role is concerned, you will continue to get right results by doing the right action. What is knowledge? What is Sankhya Yoga? Sankhya Yoga is all activity is for the role that you're playing. As such, you are free from the role. You are akarta. You are the non-doer. Doing is part of a role. Non-doer is the reality of yourself. So understand both. In the role, you do the best of your ability. You perform that role. So performing the role to the best of your ability, you are a Brahmana by guna. And if you think of your role as a burden, you are a Kshudra by guna. And what is knowledge? Knowledge of your reality is I am playing a role, and it does not matter whether I am playing a role of a wise person or a role of an administrator or a role of a businessman. It is just part of a role. The role is not me. The role does not define me. Therefore, I do not become bigger or smaller because of my role. I am free from my role. No role touches me. Therefore, the limitations of the role are role-based. They do not carry forward to me. I am free from all roles. I am Akarta Atma. The Krishna talks about himself. I act for the benefit of society. I do a lot of activity. At the same time, I'm untouched by activity. I am free. The same way, you also can perform your role, Arjuna. You can perform your role, that is part of your role. But remember, you are not the role. You are the real, the one who is free from the role. Therefore, no problem of the role will touch you. So Sukha Dukkha cannot touch you. Sukha Dukkha is part of your karma. Okay, that karma is for the role that you're playing. Beyond that karma, you are the real. As the real, you are free from the limitations of karma. This freedom gives you a lot of room. When you have no room and you're forced to do things, you do things with a sense of stress, a sense of pressure. Okay? When you're performing your role of free choice, you don't need to act. You are free from all action. You are free from all results. So nothing can enhance you. Nothing can depress you. When you have that knowledge of that reality, Arjuna, you're free from all karma. Then the role that you're playing becomes beautiful. If you have this knowledge of the real self is free from all role play. You have nothing to fulfill, you have nothing to lose. When you understand that, you can play your role happily. So, namam karmani limpanti, name karma phale spraha. Krishna says, look at me, I have nothing to gain by acting, I have nothing to lose by acting or not acting, but still I act as a yajna. So, performing this yajna, I am helping the society to come together and grow together. Think of your contribution to society as an aid for society to come together and grow together. Then you are a Brahmana by guna. But if you think of this is my burden, my responsibilities are a burden, then you are a Shudra by guna. Learn to rise up to the challenge. Stop thinking like a Shudra, start thinking like a Kshatriya or Brahmana. So a Brahmana and Kshatriya, they act with a sense of contribution to society. A Shudra by guna is saying, I have to survive, I'm working to survive. So stop working to survive, start working to contribute. When you contribute, you are great. When you are working for survival, you are struggling. You did ask yourself, are you a struggler in life or are you a contributor in life? When you're a contributor in life, you find life gives you better results, you live a better life, and you are capable of directing your life. When you are struggling to survive, then you have less and less choice. When you're striving to improve, you have greater choice. It does not matter what you do. It is important how you do it. And in the process, you're growing. As you grow, your responsibilities also will grow. And that becomes a challenge. As you keep rising to the challenge, you find you are more and more fulfilled. Okay. So what is this activity and bondage? Basically, activity and bondage is nothing but your ego. So ego is dependence. When I depend on things to become complete, to become free, to feel good about myself, when I depend on things, I am feeding my ego. When I grow out of dependence, I am free from my ego. So ego is basically the sense of dependence. I need to do things to feel better about myself. Freedom from ego is I don't need to do things to feel better. My nature is ever fulfilled. Okay, this is called self-knowledge, Sankhya Yoga. I am free from my roles. Therefore, I am not dependent on what I do or what I don't do to become complete. I am free already. I am complete already. If I know myself, I am complete. I don't need to depend on things to become complete, to feel better. I just need to accept myself. That accepting myself comes in a relative way in terms of I am doing the right thing at the right time. I feel blessed by contributing to society. That self-acceptance is I am a provider, I am not a consumer. I am a provider, I am not a consumer. So that makes me feel good about myself. And self-acceptance at a deeper level is I am free from all activity. There is no dependence whatsoever. Activity cannot improve me, and uh, uh, not acting cannot make me less. Okay, activity is a contribution. Activity is not a dependence. Activity is a contribution. I am greater than the activity. When you can understand, I am not dependent on activity. I don't depend on things to feel better. My nature is always to be better. I'm always full. I'm always fulfilled. By nature, I am not a human being trying to become spiritual. By nature, I'm a spiritual being role playing the human activities. As a spiritual being, I'm always complete. As a human being, I need to do activity. As a spiritual being, I am beyond activity. So if I know myself, I am the spiritual being, I am beyond all activity, I am good as I am. As a spiritual being, I am good as I am. I don't have to become better. I cannot become lesser also. I am always fulfilled. That sense of fulfillment is talked about as jnanam, as self-knowledge. And Krishna says that is Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is understand you're always full, you're always complete. And as far as my role is concerned, whatever I do becomes a part of a contribution to society. Whether I'm a Brahmana by learning, whether I'm a Kshatriya by administration, whether I'm a Vaishya by commerce, or whether I'm a Shudra by service. It does not matter. It is all part of a yajna. Okay. So there are different kinds of yajnas. Once you know that all your activity is just part of playing your role, you find yourself in this world with a role, you play your role to the best way. If you understand that, evam jnatva, next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. Evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi. So people who sought liberation, so they have kept doing their activity as part of a contribution. So this contribution, whatever activity that I have, it is not a selfish activity, is part of a contribution to society. When I contribute to society, I get the benefits of society. So contributing and receiving the benefits, this becomes a yajna. Okay, in a yajna, I don't think of myself alone. I think of myself with society. So I share with society and I share the benefits also of society. My contribution I share with society, and the benefits of society also I partake. So this becomes a yajna. performing all activity as a yajna. You work for self-improvement, and in the process, you are ready for self-knowledge. So these are called the two aspects of Gita. One is Karma Yoga, other is Sankhya, okay, or Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya is the knowledge of your true self. Karma Yoga is the knowledge of how best to play your role. If you understand that all karma is for self-improvement, you prepare yourself, you make yourself as a vehicle for Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya is self-knowledge. When you know yourself, you are complete. So understand, what are you working for? Okay. Go to the next slide. So here, Krishna talks about what is Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means you are ever free from action. The reality is that you are not the role, you are the real. In the role, you are doing action. In reality, you are free from all action, because it is not you who are doing the action. It is the role that is assigned to you. That is part of creation. So as part of creation, you are performing your role. But understand, you are not the role. You are a husband or wife. You are a son or daughter. You are a businessman or an administrator. These are all the roles. But behind that roles, there is a real you. That real you is not the role. Therefore, don't confuse yourself with your role. Role playing is Karma Yoga. Role playing is Karma Yoga. Okay. And that Karma Yoga you can do best when you invoke the grace of the Lord. With the Lord's grace, I perform my karma to the best of my ability. That is my contribution to society. So role playing is in terms of contribution to society. And in return, society rewards me with results. So that results I accept gratefully. So performing right action and accepting the results, this is part of my role. Beyond the role is Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is I am not touched by the role. I am the real, free from all roles. I am akarta, I am not the karta. So this is called Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. Okay. People are confused about what is karma. Kim karma kima karmeti kavayopi atra mohitaha. So what is action and what is inaction? People are confused. As far as Krishna is concerned, he says doing, not doing, and wrongdoing, they are all bracketed under action. Doing is action, not doing is action, wrongdoing also is action. Then what is freedom from action? Freedom from action is knowing. When you know that you are not the role, you are the one behind the role. Behind the role, you are the non-doer. You are akarta atma. Just like Krishna says, I do not do anything. It is my Maya which does everything. The wise man also recognizes, I do not do anything. It is my role that does everything. So playing the role is Karma Yoga. And I play the role by invoking the grace of the Lord. When I do the right thing at the right time, I get the right results and I accept it as prasadam. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. Nobody can be free from karma physically or emotionally. Physically or emotionally, you are always at the mercy of society. You are interacting with society. Sometimes society rewards you, sometimes society punishes you. Sometimes relationships reward you, sometimes your relationships break you down. Okay, so that is all part of the role. And knowledge that you are beyond the role, it takes you beyond the problem of dependence. I am not dependent on the role. The role is something extra. I am not limited by the role. I am the one who is free from all roles. The role does not burden me. And the problem of the role is joy and sorrow. Joy and sorrow does not burden me. Joy and sorrow is just an experience. All experiences in life, they're meant for me to learn. It is not meant for me to label myself. I am successful, I am a failure. I stop labeling myself. I am not success or a failure. I am playing a role in which I am doing a good job. I have success. When I am unable to do a good job, or there are factors beyond my control, so I experience failure. That is part of my role. But the role is, think of your role as a yajna. When you do a yajna, you do your best in your role, and whatever results that come, when you accept it as grace, you accept it as prasad, you find the problems of the role are taken care of by the right attitude. The right attitude is, whatever comes in life, I accept it as grace. When success comes, I accept it gratefully. When failure comes, I accept it gracefully. This is a sportsmanship attitude. In failure and success, you remain the same. Success motivates and failure motivates you more. Failure motivates you to overcome. Success motivates you to continue doing the good job. So both success and failure, they become motivations in life for you to improve. So that is a challenge of life. Don't get carried away by success. Don't get depressed by failure. Learn to enjoy your success and learn to grow out of your failures. So this is a sort of yajna. Whatever I do, I will be blessed with success or failure. I accept both as prasad. So in this way, people have done karma and understanding that it is my role in which I am limited to karma, but beyond the role, I am free from all karma. I am akarta atma. That means I am not labeled by my success and failures. Success and failure are part of life. They are not the purpose of life. Success is not the purpose of life. Growing out of dependence on success and failure, that is the purpose of life. Growing out of dependence on success. I don't need success to fulfill myself. It is good to work for success. It is good to enjoy success, but it is not good to depend on success. Learn you are greater than success. This is self-knowledge, this Sankhya Yoga. You are greater than your success. You are greater than your failures. Success and failure are by the way. Your freedom, your greatness is all the way. You don't depend on success. You are not brought down by failure. You can walk tall in spite of your success and failures, because all your success and failures, they are part of your role play. And remember, you are not your role. The roles come and go. Like your lifetime, your birth and death, they are all part of changing situations. Your birth and death, your lifetimes will come and go. Your successes and failure will come and go. But you remain as the focal point of all activity. That you is never touched by success or failure. That knowledge of yourself as akarta, you are not the agent of success or failure. You are independent of success and failure. So that is your fulfillment. As long as you depend on success and failure, you are struggling in life. When you discover freedom from success and failure, you have fulfilled your life. Discover yourself as free from success and failure. Success and failure are part of life. They are not the purpose of life. Okay? So the person who takes all activities and all responsibilities in his stride, thinking of them as just part of the role, such a person is untouched by sukha and dukkha, is untouched by success, by failure. I am greater than my success, I am greater than my failure. This is Sankhya Yoga. I am greater than my birth and death. I am greater than my joys and sorrows. I am untouched by them. All these are by the way. My fulfillment, my sense of completeness is all the way. So this freedom is called as Krita Krityata. I have done everything. I have fulfilled myself. There is nothing more to be gained, and there is nothing that can be lost. I am complete as I am. I can accept myself totally. Okay, this is the next slide, please. So this is going beyond your ego. Your ego is a dependent entity, it depends on success and failure. When you grow beyond your ego, you're free from success and failure. You see yourself as a contributor. I'm not a dependent on society. I'm a contributor on society. And I am just playing my role in society. I don't depend on society. I am just passing through. As a passer through, I am playing my roles like a person who is in the train. You have reached your destination, you get down from the train. All your interactions with fellow passengers, they are only up to them. Till that time, you're just interacting with people. So you interact pleasantly. You work for pleasant interactions. You don't work for disturbing the people. But once your station has come, you get down because you have nothing to gain or nothing to lose. You already reached your destination. So success and failure is not the destination. It is just the experiences that you get while you're traveling. Once you have reached your goal, you are beyond success, you are beyond failure. And what is that fulfillment? That fulfillment is recognizing yourself. I am the real behind the role. The real one is neither dependent on success, nor is it affected by failure. I am beyond both. This is called Sankhya Yoga. Just two more words before we start question answers. Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is the right attitudes which help me to grow in order to be ready for this knowledge. Sankhya Yoga is a knowledge of the absolute. Karma Yoga is a knowledge of managing your relative life. You require Karma Yoga to manage your life. You require Sankhya to fulfill your life. Managing your life, yes, you require to live a good life. You require to manage your life. Success and failure, you have to learn to handle. Okay, you don't work for failure, you always work for success. But you understand success is not assured. Therefore, you are ready for failure. You are ready for failure, but you always work for success. You work for happiness, but you're ready for sorrow. So the attitude, whatever I do, if I do the right things at the right time, I will get the right results. At the same time, I have to be ready for a surprise because there are a lot of things unknown. So unknown things can affect the result. So if unknown things affect the result, I accept it as this is Ishvara Ichha. This is the Lord's will for me. I accept it as the Lord's will and take it as prasad. When I have that attitude, failure cannot diminish me. Success cannot go to my head. I am grateful in success. I am graceful in failure. There is no success, there is no failure. There is all this are by the way. What fulfills me is not success. What fulfills me is the knowledge of myself. I am the real behind the role. Okay, I have no birth, I have no death. I am complete as I am. I don't depend on my roles. My roles will drop off one day. My body will drop off one day, but I will continue. That I is always free from dependence. This is called absolute independence, absolute freedom. This is what we talk about as moksha. So all of spirituality is learning to grow to the point where success and failure become redundant to me. I don't depend on success. I'm not afraid of failure. I have grown beyond that. Once I come to that position, I am ready for the knowledge of myself. So this is called Karma Yoga, which helps me to manage my success and failures. And Brahma Vidya is know myself in reality, the one who is beyond success and beyond failure. I'll just run through the slides. Yajna is participating in life. You contribute and you get results. Okay, we don't have time for this. A person who has self-knowledge performs the yajna. He does activity, he plays a role without depending on the role. Right? Then a person who knows the self, the one who has Samkhya Yoga, is like the lotus leaf in water. You are not touched by joy and sorrow. You are beyond joy and sorrow because you are not dependent on them. Okay, the next slide is yajna. The yajna, you do your best, you contribute and you receive. So this is a dance of life. So perform the dance of life, perform your roles. To the best of your ability, you become a contributor. And when you contribute to society, you don't have to worry, I'm losing out. You're not losing out. You're contributing to the pool and you are partaking of the benefits of society. That means society takes care of you. You take care of society. This is a yajna. Right? So there are different kinds of yajna. You can think of every activity as a yajna in which you contribute and in which you receive. I will send you this PPT so that I don't have to explain all the verses. You can go to the verses. A little bit of free translation I provided. So a yajna is a contribution and a receiving. Okay, you contribute your efforts and you receive the rewards, sometimes gratefully, sometimes gracefully. Success you receive gratefully and failure you receive gracefully. Why? Because you are not dependent on them. You are learning to manage them until you come to a point when success and failure does not matter. What I am is the real fulfillment. Knowledge of myself as beyond success and failure. That is a real fulfillment. Okay. Yeah. I will just run through the slides. Okay. Yajna is a way of life. Yeah. Okay. Can you go first? Yeah. After that is yajna gives you relative fulfillment when you are doing a dravya yajna. Dravya yajna, when you are actually contributing physically and receiving rewards, it becomes a physical yajna. And there is a yajna of knowledge in which you are contributing ignorance, you are contributing all karmas, and you are receiving, you can say, you are receiving knowledge. In the fire of knowledge, all your karmas are offered. So you're contributing your karmas, all your efforts, you're contributing to the fire of knowledge, and that knowledge burns everything into ashes. So all your dependence on karma is burned so that you become independent you become free. So this is called a Brahma Yajna. A Brahma Yajna, in the fire of knowledge, you're contributing your ignorance, you're contributing your limitations, and you end up with absolute fulfillment. Karma and Sankhya is the next slide. So action and knowledge. Action fulfills you in terms of getting you what you want. Knowledge fulfills you in terms of seeing beyond your needs. You're not a needy person requiring fulfillment. That needy person is just a role that you have. As a businessman, you need some resources. As a parent, you need some resources. That is part of your role. But your reality is you're not dependent on the role. You're not an absolute parent. In absolute sense, you're beyond the parent. In absolute sense, you're beyond the businessman. That one who is beyond is ever fulfilled. So that is, I'm not dependent on my roles. I'm not dependent on the fulfillment of my roles. I am independently full and complete. So that knowledge is Sankhya. Bhagavad Gita tells you, you require to know yourself relatively and absolutely. Relatively, you are full and complete when you work for the right results. Absolutely, you are full and complete when you know yourself. So Sankhya means know yourself absolutely. Karma Yoga is know yourself and the world in terms of what is needed to fulfill your roles. So when you have both Karma and Sankhya, you are said to be a wise person. Okay, we'll stop here. Just the slides will be shared to you, so you can go through the rest of the verses. I've talked about most of the slides. So some of the slides come again because the verses are in that order. But most of the slides I've already talked about. So you can go through it yourself. I leave the floor for question and answers.
So we move ahead with question and answer. I request the participants, students, as well as the participants who are there. We will be accepting 4 to 5 questions, and we will of course give a chance to the people who are interested for questions. So the first question is asked by one of the student asking, will God incarnate in Kali Yuga? The question is this by one of the student, Niharika. I request the participants to write the questions in chat box.
According to the Puranas, in Vishnu Purana, there are 10 avatars. So the 10 avatars, the 10th avatar is Kalki avatar, which will come in Kali Yuga. Okay, but even otherwise, there are, the Lord says that anything special in creation, like the best things in creation are nothing but my own nature. Okay, the Lord is present in every form. Therefore, you can invoke the Lord in all the best things in life. So you can go to a temple to invoke the Lord. You can go to the mountains to invoke the Lord. You can go to a river to invoke the Lord. You can go to the ocean. The ocean also is a Devata. Okay. You can go to Ganga. The river itself is worshipped. So you can invoke God in any way. And also you can invoke God through a person. Your mother is God. Your father also is God. So in that sense, the Lord is present in us, through us, as us. So the Lord is present in all places. In Kali Yuga, what happens is you are not able to recognize the presence of the Lord. Okay, so you have to require a special effort to recognize Ishvara in everyone. In Satya Yuga or in better times, you find that your attitude and your trust. So it is high trust. So you trust people, you see the goodness in people. In Kali Yuga, there is low trust, so it is difficult to see goodness in people. But Ishvara is there all around. All you require is the eyes to see. So in that sense, yes, God incarnates right now also. So that is why you see the enlightened people. So you find in spite of difficulties, in spite of challenges, people rise to the challenge. When people rise to the challenge, that is the presence of God.
Yes, sir. In addition to this, there's a question by Nishka Khatri, a student of ours. Why God appears in the end of Karma Chakra and not before?
Not before. Okay. God does not overwrite the karma chakra. God only is present as self-correcting. Okay. The chakra is a cycle. So in the cycle, there is ups and downs. Right? But you can't reverse the process. You can only complete the process. So that is the cycle of karma. So in the cycle of karma, there will be good times, there will be bad times. Even if you look at astrology, you have your good times and you have your bad times, right? So God does not reverse the process. God only completes that process. Therefore, in time, things will come back to the original form. So you require Shraddha, you require faith to know that things are not lost. Things may be unseen, but it is still present. The cycle will continue. So Kali Yuga will be followed by Satya Yuga. And they say the best time for spirituality is Kali Yuga. Because in Kali Yuga, you have greater difficulty. So when you have greater difficulty, even a small effort will go a long way. In Satya Yuga, you have to do a lot of good karma. In Kali Yuga, even a little good karma will take you a long way. So that is the grace of Kali Yuga. The greater the obstacle, even a little progress is fulfillment.
Moving ahead with the questions, we have one question by Medhavi Chakrabarti. Can a person be mix of two systems as Brahman spread wisdom yet make profit? So once again, I repeat the question. Can a person be mix of two systems as Brahman spread wisdom yet make money?
Yeah. Okay, this is Krishna divides this Chaturvarna into Guna and Karma. By Karma, you can be a Vaishya, making money. But by attitude, you can be a Brahmana. So that means you are not dependent on that money. Okay. That money you are making as part of a contribution to society. So your money is a resource. Your money is not a dependence. Your money becomes a resource. Then you are a Brahmana by Guna. I am contributing to society with my money. So this is what Walter Buffett, he did not have as much money as Bill Gates, but he contributed much more money than Bill Gates, right? So I am willing to contribute. So my money is a resource. So by karma, I am a Vaishya. By guna, I may be a Brahman.
There's a very nice question by one of our student, Vaibhavi. She's asking, sir, in Mahabharata, we can see Arjun got Krishna to solve his doubts and to guide him. In the same way, how can we find our Krishna in real life to help us?
Okay. One thing is keep your eyes and ears open. As long as you have no problem in learning from others, everybody is a Krishna. Okay. When you keep your ego aside, even your child can be your teacher. Keep your ego aside. Learn. Don't try to say you don't know anything. Okay. Maybe the child sees something more than what you see. Maybe not more, but it will be different than what you see. So can you appreciate difference? Everybody comes from a standpoint. So instead of doing tu my, can you see? You tell me how you see it. You tell me how you see it so that I become richer. So a baby's wisdom can make you richer. So don't go by just your perception. Try to expand your perception. There is much more than what I see. So I have to see from different standpoints. Does it answer the question?
Yes, sir. It is truly said that nature is the biggest teacher, and every creature on this earth, as it is part of God, it teaches at every kshan. I request others to ask questions. The forum is all open to you, and if you don't have questions, we wind up the session. Is there any question?
Okay.
I request you to post.
We can do one thing. Those who want to wind up, they can wind up. And those who want to continue with the questions, they can continue.
Yes, sir. So, is there? You can put your hands up, unmute you if you want to ask any question. So, I think there are no questions.
Okay,
And
I think there's one question. How do we overcome pain? Okay. How do we overcome pain?
okay, it might be for, it might be directly to you. Yes, sir.
Okay. Pain is an experience, and we have to understand there is no intolerable pain. All pain is tolerable. There's no intolerable pain. You just need to improve your resistance. The more resistance you have, the easier you are able to manage pain. But there comes a point when you cannot resist the pain. You have to give in to the pain. Okay. So when medicines cannot help you, when other things cannot help you, one thing you can do is to pray. So when you pray, you are surrendering to that pain, and you are surrendering to the Lord who will take care of that pain. There is no intolerable pain in sense that you are still conscious. As long as you are conscious, you are going through the pain, right? Even though you say it is intolerable, but still you are going through it. That means it's not an impossible pain, it's a possible pain. If it were really impossible, you wouldn't be conscious. And if you're not conscious, then there's no pain. So all pain is an experience for you to take up the challenge. So either you can take up the challenge by fighting the pain and resolving it, or you can accept the challenge by saying, I surrender this pain to the Lord. It is for Him to take care of it. Therefore, I will go through it without complaining. And that attitude makes all the difference. When you say yes to that pain becomes less. When you say no to that pain increases. Don't struggle with pain. Learn to flow with that pain.
So, sir, even I had this question in my mind, and there's the question asked by one of our participants. So you said about dharma and legs. Why and how it got reduced in Kali Yuga to just one leg? The cow's leg, you said.
Okay. This is the nature of the universe. So somewhere the universe has to come to an end. Okay. So somewhere there is a build up and somewhere there's a breakdown. So dharma is a cycle. So the cycle starts from like the phases of the moon. The moon grows into the full moon, and then it goes into decline and it becomes a new moon. So dharma also is a cycle like that. And this is the nature of creation. If creation is the same, then it won't be a creation. Okay, it won't be meaningful. The creation becomes meaningful when there is change, and it helps you to look into that change and overcome it. This is what I call a challenge. So creation is a challenge which you have to overcome, right? So you learn to go through good times, you learn to go through bad times. In the process, you become wiser, and you understand that experiencing comfort and avoiding discomfort is not the purpose of life. That is not the purpose. That is by the way. Experiencing comfort, avoiding discomfort is part of life. It is not the purpose of life. The purpose of the life is to grow beyond dependence on both. You grow beyond the dependence, you rise to the challenge so that sadness cannot threaten you and joy cannot buy you. Okay? Comfort cannot buy you, and sadness cannot destroy you. You become greater than joy and sorrow. And that comes when, in relative terms, you learn to handle both as grace. Whatever comes to you is a grace. Sukha is prasadam, dukkha is mahaprasadam. Sukha motivates me and dukkha challenges me. So both are good for me. When you have that attitude, you are beyond sukha and dukkha. And this is relatively. In the absolute sense, you discover that I am playing a role. The role is affected by sukha dukkha. I am not the role. I am independent of the role. Therefore, by nature, I am beyond both. Okay, so sukha dukkha is by the way. My freedom from them is all the way.
I've got a last question by Dhruv Pamak.
Yes.
He's asking, he's a student of SYBIM, and he's asking, as the karma chakra is over, do we instantly die?
I would say yes and no. Karma chakra is never ending. Okay, so what we talk about as birth or death is just part of the chakra. So karma chakra does not end until you free yourself from all karma. When you free yourself from all karma, so there is no more chakra. Chakra happens when you are bound to karma. And that bound to karma is basically when you mistake the role as real. As long as you mistake the role and real, you are bound to the role. So in the role, you keep on multiplying your efforts to get better and better results. But in the process, you're also making mistakes and you're getting breakdowns also. So you cannot avoid sukha and dukkha. They say even in the best of worlds, when you go to divine places like heaven, okay, there are multiple heavens in our culture. We talk about 7 stages of a better life. So starting from this world, in this world, you can earn certain sukha. And when you go to higher worlds, the sukha becomes more and more. Okay. But no matter how big you are in terms of resources, in terms of money, in terms of joy, in terms of relationships, no matter how much big you are still small compared to what you are. What you really are is the biggest thing in the universe. And what you become is always less. So if you have self-knowledge, you are beyond the need to become big. You recognize yourself as the reality of all creation. You are the biggest thing. With that knowledge, you become free from all dependence. Okay, so that is knowledge. Can you repeat the question? I missed out one part of it.
If the karma chakra is over, do we instantly die?
Okay. So as far as knowledge is concerned, if you have the knowledge of the absolute, you are still alive. At the same time, you are free. Okay. You don't die because you have fulfillment. Your fulfillment is even when you are alive. And the karma chakra, what you talk about is karma chakra. So when you have knowledge, you are said to be free of the karma chakra. That freedom from karma chakra is in terms of knowing in reality you are not dependent on karma chakra. Okay. But as far as your role is concerned, you have a physical body. That physical body is still participating in the karma chakra. And until your lifespan, that karma chakra will make you act and will also get you experiences in life. So that is called your prarabdha karma. So prarabdha karma is the experiences that you have that is allotted to you for this lifetime. So that you have to go through whether you get self-knowledge or not. But once you go through that period and at the end of your life, there is no more future birth. There is no more future birth because to have a birth, you require the seed of ignorance. when you do not know yourself, okay, then that you mistake your physical body or you mistake your role as real. As long as you mistake your role as real, there will be a future birth. Self-knowledge is when you discover you're not the role, you're the real. When you discover that knowledge, so you're free in this lifetime itself, you're free. You're free of the karma chakra in terms of reality. In terms of the role, the karma chakra continues until death. Once you're dead, there is no more future life. Okay.
So with this last question,
Yes.
from your level of perception as what you see human as, once again,
Yes.
from your level of perception, what you see human being as, what do you see them as?
I see human beings as people who are going through experiences of life, either with awareness or without. Okay, without awareness, you take things for granted. You take your lifetime for granted. You take your limitations for granted. You take other people for granted. So you're limiting yourself to your limited understanding. When you understand life in a limited way, so human beings are struggling in life. They are working by trial and error. Okay, people say, so I do not know what I want, so let me travel the world so that I really know what I want. We take a break from our career, from our studies, in order to really know what I want. Okay, so they take a sabbatical for a year because it's all trial and error. We don't know what we want. So that is living with ignorance. And if you are a little mature, you don't just go through experiences, you learn from experiences. When you learn from experiences, every experience is making you wiser and wiser. So as a human being, if you're learning from your experiences, you are a karma yogi, and you're also fulfilling yourself in relative ways. If you're just going by what other people think, you don't go by what is important to you, you go by what other people tell you. That means you're just, I would say, not even experimenting with life, you're just wasting your life. So don't waste your life, ask questions, learn from wise people. Okay, if you cannot get answers yourself, go to people who can give you better answers. So that is called exploring. So human being is meant to explore not only your capacities, not only your limitations, but also what is beyond all this. So learn to keep questioning and keep approaching people who have greater wisdom so that you become wiser with every experience.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks. On behalf of team of Center for Universal Human Values of K.E. Shroff College, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our distinguished speaker, Shri Udayacharya ji. Sir, I thank you for your time and for sharing the learnings from Adhyay 4.
Thank you very
So
much.
your golden words, accept success gratefully and failure gracefully. I'm sure, sir, will go a long way with each one of us, sir. Thank you once again, sir, for enriching us with your priceless words, sir. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our participants for attentively listening and clarifying their doubts, making the session more lively. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Same here. I thank all the participants. Your questions really push me to a higher level of response. So that is a challenge for me. Every question is a challenge for me to make myself more clear. Right? Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. With every day, with a new speaker, with new knowledge, and with the varieties of stalwarts coming to our campus, we are grateful, and I would say rather we are highly obliged to the time which you have given. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. As far as the explanation of verses are concerned, you can share my presentation with the participants.
Certainly, sir. Sir, we will do it.
Yeah.
Thank you so
whatever
much.
I have not said is will be completed in that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We will send it to the participants. With this, we end the session today and we meet tomorrow with the new speaker, new excitement, new chapter. Thank you so much.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a
Thank
A
lot.
successful completion for this 18 days. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.